Back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make this very easy dress. Guys, I'm making it for someone, so I wanted to just come in and show you guys how to make it. So it's very easy. You might need, you see what I'm using for her, just very, so she wants to join this fabric to this fabric and just make a simple shirt dress, right? So what I have here is about, she's not that tall, so the length of her dress is going to be about 33, right? That is the length. So this is just about 1 yard of fabric, but it's cut by like this. So you see the width is like 60 inches, which is like this. The width of the fabric is this way. So I folded the width into two first, and then I'm now using this way. I'm using it this way, you understand? So now what I have, guys, I'm using the whole width of the fabric. And so now what I have to do is that I'm going to go ahead and insert her measurement. So the width of this is about 15, right? Remember, this is cut by 60, unlike a cara that is normally like 46 or so. So what I'm going to do now is that the way it is now, I'm going to use but if you're trying to cut yours and you want to know how much width, how to determine the width of your fabric, just use your shoulder divided by 2, which for her is 8. Her shoulder measurement divided by 2 is 8, right? And then plus whatever you want your sleeve length to be, because it's a kimono dress, right? So whatever you want the sleeve length to be. So her own is going to also be about almost 8 inches also for the sleeve length. So now that that is marked, I'm just going to go back in again now and start inserting my measurement. You see, I've already marked half an inch at the top here, placed my tape here, and then you're going to calculate your sleeve armhole. So how you're going to calculate it is that you're going to divide your bust, round your bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5. That is how you get the length. So first I'm going to come down here by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and then I'm going to insert whatever I got from the calculation. So it's going to land me somewhere at 9 here. So this is going to be my armhole line, and then the next line I have here is her shoulder to her waist, which is at 17.5, her shoulder to her hip, which is at 24. So now the next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and mark the neck width. So I'm going to use 3 inches for the neck width. Remember, this is a button down, but because I'm going to be using a different color of fabric for the placket, that is why I didn't bother. I'm cutting both the front and the back to be the same size, because I'm going to be adding fabric to it. So now I'm going to go ahead and connect this shoulder slope to this point, and then I'm going to add my half an inch of sewing it to the top of it, right? And then I'm going to mark, you see I connected it to this neckline. I'm going to first come down, mark 1 inch of neck depth. This will be cut off. And then on this armhole line, I'm going to insert her bust by 4. Bust divided by 4. So her bust is 41. Divided by 4 is going to be about 10.25. And then I'm going to add half an inch of ease and 1 inch of seam allowance. So that is 1.5. Come down to her waist. Waist divided by 4. So her waist is 36 divided by 4, that is going to give me 9. I'm going to add about 1 inch of ease and the same thing I added here. Come down to her hip. Her hip measurement is 47, right? So divided by 4, and then I'm going to add 1.5 again, just like that. So I did 1.5, 1 inch of seam allowance, half an inch of ease, and then I'm going to come down to this end here and also bring down the same measurement from the top. So after that, I'm going to just connect everything from here to here, here to the waist, here to the bust. But for the waistline now, if you feel like you don't, because now if I pull this like this now and connect it here, you'll notice that this is too deep, right? It's too deep because her waist is quite small. This is 36, this is 47. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring this out a little by half an inch, right? Add back half an inch to it. So now I have extra 2 inches to this part here, just so it will bring it out a little. But I'm going to give it a loop by the side so she can pull a belt to it and tie it at the back, you understand? Because if you look at her own, you see that the waist is quite cinched in, but there is no dart on it, right? So I'm going to use a belt to form that waist. So I added half an inch. If your waist, if the difference is not too much for you, just stick to what we're doing. But if yours is too much, then you can go ahead and add like half an inch to it, just to bring it out a little bit more. So now I have extra 2 inches here. So let me go ahead and connect everything together. So guys, now that we've connected everything together, the next thing we are going to do is, at this point here, I'm going to give it a curve like this, right, under the armhole. And then when I come down to this part, I'm going to come up by, at least you can do 1.5 or you can do 2 inches, right, just to blend in this to this here. So I'm going to come up here by like 2 inches. That's what I'm going to do, because she wants this dress quite short, just like the one on the video. But you're going to put into consideration your seam allowance. So when you go to measure this dress, guys, you're going to measure it from the longest part, not from the shorter part. So you're going to try to measure it from the center here, where you know that the full length of the dress would be. But this side, I'm going to be reducing it. So now I'm going to just take it here and blend it in from here all the way into the into this part. All I have to do is just to go ahead and cut this out, cut this part out, the shoulder and then the neckline. As you see, I first cut out this small part here, remove the side here, remove the 1 inch of neckline, and then I also remove the shoulder stop. So after that, all I have to do is to separate it. So I'm going to have 2 pieces here. So separate, one is going to be my back panel. Let me take it out. The second one is going to be my front panel. Let me fold it back. So after folding it back now, the next step is going to be to cut it open. So first, you're going to come down here and make the neckline 3 inches instead of 1. So I'm going to come down, connect it, cut it out. Now that I've done that, I'm going to also split it open by the center. Now that I've split it open, the next thing I'm going to do is, there will be 2 pieces in front, right? One is supposed to overlap the other. So to form that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut, you see, it's already taking shape of that dress we saw the thumbnail, if you look at it. So I'm going to go ahead, I've cut out, this here is just for this placket. So you see, I cut out something that is very long. I have 2 of them here. So the width here is about 2.5 to 3 inches, depending on what you're going to use. So first thing is that you're going to fold it into 2. After folding it into 2 like this, you're going to tuck in half an inch of one side of it like this, tuck in the other side half an inch of it like this. So now you formed something like this. Take the end of your shirt. So 3 inches of width is what you're going to use, not 2.5. And then you're going to take the end of your shirt, fix it inside here by like half an inch in, and then continue from this point and sew it all the way down, join to the end like this. You understand? So I'm going to sew it all the way down to the end. I'm going to do the same thing on this other side, and I'm going to iron it out. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to come here. So you see, I've gone ahead and joined this here on one side and then on the other side too, and then I folded it back again together. This is what I want to do. Down here, it's normally done for kimono this kimono style, is that you're going to come in here by 1 inch. Some people do half an inch, right? And then what you're going to do is that you're going to blend it into this end here, right? Kimono end is never straight like this. You have to reduce it from the bottom to this top part here. So I'm going to just blend it in to the top, and then I'm going to cut it out. Normally you would just fold the sleeve on itself. So if you feel like the length you have here is okay, just fold it on itself like this. After you've cut off this excess here, just go ahead and hem it like how you normally hem your clothes, and then sew it close. But since mine, I'm trying to insert this color wherever I can, I'm going to use this to turn it over. So let me cut this out now. So guys, the next thing is going to be to go ahead and sew this, join it to it. So I'm going to take this one the way it is now. Let me open this up. So once I open it up now, I'm going to open up this side. So I'm going to just sew this on this is what I had left from after joining this band, this placket part. So it's just a little piece that I have, but it can go around the sleeve. So I'm just going to take it, sew it. The right side is here, and then this is the wrong side of my sleeve. So I'm going to sew it in with half an inch, and then after that I'm going to bring it out and top stitch it to the top, right? So I'm just going to use it on both sleeves, and once it's done, you will notice that this is where my waistline is, and then I came up from my waistline like 1.5 inch and then notched it. And then I also sewed something that looks like this. I have 2 of it. I'm going to put one on each side of the waist. So as I'm coming down, I'm going to insert this loop. So because once I finish the sleeve, I'm going to close it up. As I'm coming down, I'm going to insert this inside here, like with my seam, I'm going to insert this in such a way that it will look like this, right? Inside here, sewn into the side seam. So the upper part of this loop here is going to, the upper part of it is going to be at the notch, and then the lower part is going to be just below the waist, and then it's going to pass through. So this is for the belt that I just spoke about. Once you come down here, you're going to complete your seam all the way down. So guys, this is what I have at the moment. As you can see, I folded this out, right? I just used this piece of cloth here to just top stitch it round. You see, it's not on the inside here. So this is what I have at the moment. You see the belt loop, like I said, coming out here. So what I'm going to pass through here is this particular color here, this belt. So it's just going to be tied to the back. You understand? It's not going to tie to front. It's just tying to the back to help pull the waist together towards the back. So now this is what it looks like. So the last thing I have to do is just to deal with the neckline. So I've measured around my neckline. So you're going to start from one end like this, open it up, and measure from the beginning of this part here all the way to the other end here. So what I got was 17, and this is what I'm using for her shirt collar. So this is it here, folded into two. So I've sewn it here. It was 4 inches of width when I started, right? But then I've used half an inch to sew this part here, so I'm going to be left with 3.5. So I'm going to use half an inch here to tuck in the end here. So that means my collar width is going to be 3 inches when I'm done. So before that, let me fold it and cut what I need. So like I said, the collar round her neckline, what I need is 17. So what I'm going to measure now is to make sure that I have 17 at the bottom here. So sorry, 17 divided by 2. So that is going to leave me with about 8.5. Mark it here, and then mark it all the way to the top. I'm going to come out here by at least 1 inch, and then I'm going to connect it to this point here, and also give it half an inch of sewing allowance, and that is basically it. So I'm just going to cut it out at this point. Guys, now after that, the only thing I have to do is just to go, I've sewn this end here, so all I have to do is just to turn it the way it's the other side, and then close up this edge here, close up here, close up here. Guys, you see, I've closed up the two ends here, and then I tucked in half an inch in here. So now all I have to do, you see how I tucked it in, everything like this. So now all I have to do is just to join it so that it will form a collar like this. So how I'm going to join it is that I'm going to open up this part, take this here, put it inside like this, and continue sewing it all the way until I get to the other end. When I'm done, it's going to form the collar. So guys, this is what it looks like right now. You see, it's done. If I turn the back, you'll see the collar first. So once you finish joining it, it will look straight like this, and then you fold it down. You see her own is like this color at the back here, and then folded down. So this is what the back looks like. This is what I was telling you about the belts. This is how I intended for it to be tied, just like this. So once you tie it like this, it's going to pull this side, and then drop like this. It's not going to be tied to the front, because if you look at her own, you see that something is pulling the waist towards the back. It's just that I don't have the back picture of the back of her dress. So now this is what we have. So I just have to get the button. So I'm going to be using this pink button for her, but at the moment I don't have it. So this is what the dress looks like here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.